All right, what is going on, guys? So, yesterday I had made a long video regarding all of this on swapping a K into an EF chassis. Unfortunately, the my GoPro didn't upload it, so now I'm here doing another one for you guys. So, kind of sucks, but I guess it is what it is. So, the video I'm going to be going over cost breakdown, what it cost me to do all that over time. So let's just get right into it. So this I have it considered essential. So essential being like kind of bare bones basic. So you just getting the engine, slapping it in, and going from there. You're not changing gaskets. You're not like changing the clutch, spark plugs, nothing like that. You know, you change maybe fluids. I consider that to be like at least essential. But everything else, you just leave it for the time being, and this is how I'll characterize it essential for cost breakdown. In another later video, then I'll go over with like more in-depth, like what it cost me to get like all new gaskets, spark plugs, uh, a lot of these bolts that I got brand new from Honda. So these all it all did add with the cost. I consider it part of that and whatnot. So yeah, this is K20 swapping EF essential. So here we go. It's going to be kind of long. So the engine, trans, and harness and the ECU, I picked it up about 10 months ago from Michigan. And I gotta give a shout out to my two buddies, Andrew and Dalen. Without them, I would not have been able to actually pick up this swap. So love both you fellas. Thank you so much for that time. So yeah, engine, trans, harness, and ECU. That was $850. It did not have a shifter box with cable, so I ended up sourcing one. And as a bonus, it came with K-tuned shifter bushings, so that came up to 120. And mind you guys that this order of parts that I'm going over, I have no particular order. It's kind of one of those when I was buying parts, it just, I wrote it down and sorry I couldn't organize it, but I will be jumping back and forth a lot regarding this part to that part. So, yeah, so EFs also, they come with clutch cables. They're not hydro like EGs and EKs, so you have to remedy that. So I ended up getting a 92 to 95 clutch master cylinder. That was sorry, falling with the focus 1914 for the clutch master cylinder. Radiator is a EP3 radiator. I had to kind of bash in the sides here a little bit on both sides, and I actually had to trim the top of the radiator stays. So you could kind of see right there, I had to trim both of those. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of my whole entire the T-bracket, the hood prop, so that's just chilling over there. So in the future, if I decide to do a hood, got to do like hood pins or something like that. But this is a factory, like an EP3 style radiator, fits nice and snug in there. The TP with the upper radiator hose, it does kind of rest on the TPS sensor. Nothing too concerning though. In the future, when I do like a K24 swap, technically the whole engine raises up, so this right here won't be an issue anymore. So the radiator with the cap, that was $67.38 for that. Next is the hybrid racing thermostat plug and heater core plug. I am not running any heat in the car. So being as it is, I have that slot kind of open down here. This is where the factory like what do you call it? The lines for like the heater core, whatever would came. So I just ran my shifter cables through there. So heater box, all that is gone. So the thermostat plug and the heater plug, the thermostat plug is down in here somewhere. I can't get a good shot of that, but I'll at least be able to show you the heater core plug. That guy is right back here. It is right there. So got that plugged up. That from Hybrid Racing was 5280. The traction bar is an actual K-tune traction bar, and one of the things I did like about it, it came with these like universal radiator mounts, so I was able to use these for like where to mount the EPF radiator. So it's like a nice universal bracket, just loops around the traction bar, and then you kind of decide where you want the actual radiator to say. So the traction bar, that was cost me $3.50 for that. The swap conversion harness. I ended up getting it used on eBay, but it was brand new, never opened, from CJ's. Rest in peace, CJ. Unfortunately, he passed away some time ago from cancer. Um, I can't really get any information on like how he ended up doing these, but mine, what I noticed is with this whole conversion swap harness, he also has an additional plug for the reverse lights to work. So this is all part of CJ. So working reverse lights, everything on this was plug and play. So it was like really, really, really nice for nice work that CJ had done. Uh, the radiator fan switch plug, and then the for the gauge cluster for the temperature sensor plug. These two, you can't really see. You could see here they're separated, but here underneath my coil pack cover, they're actually all really nicely braided. So I didn't want to go about like separating them. So I had to come up with a solution for them being here, because on K20s, the radiator fan switch is actually on the radiator itself. And mine, I don't think I'll be able to get a good picture. It's kind of dark there, but mine, it is somewhat, it is actually blocked off. So yeah, so this is, I'll explain what piece this is in the future, but yeah, this is all real nice. I'll try and get a good picture on the inside as well too for you guys. Yeah, it's dark, unfortunately. I cannot do anything. Oh wait, there we go, that works. Sorry, I'm getting used to this YouTube thing, and this time I'm using my phone. So yeah, the whole entire everything was just 100% plug and play. That plug right there is for the factory EF OBD0. Don't need to do anything. The one thing you have to do with this, if you do have a CJ's one, you have to drill a hole on the side of like your exhaust tunnel. This is for the O2 sensor. So there's the plug right there for that. So it's not long enough, unfortunately. So he does mention this, I remember, in the instructions online. So yeah, if you're able to source those instructions online, I can't find them anymore. Not that I need them, but yeah, you have to do this if you have a CJ's K-swap conversion harness. So and that from from the person on eBay, I had purchased it for $253, and I want to say that's about how much CJ did sell them brand new as well too. Next on the list, hybrid racing coolant temp sensor adapter. Kind of saw that here earlier. It's on the factory front coolant flange, so you just remove whatever the piece here was from factory, weld this, it's like a pipe thread, and then you actually weld your temperature sensor there. So that was $27.48 for that. And then mind you, I have 3 pages here. They're front and back worth for doing this, so slowly we're moving along. Next here, we have probably one of my favorite scores, and I was happy about this. Haas Sports JHP Black Exclusive 88 durometer motor mounts. Not the durometer motor mounts I want to go with, but it was used. I'm like, you know what? I've had cars with really stiff motor mounts, so this wouldn't bother me that much. And I'll be honest, it's actually not that bad. Very, very nice. I really dig the black. I've never had motor mounts before that were like black, but it kind of goes with everything here that I have. Usually you find the default being the silver ones, but you know, these are pretty nice. So just for the motor mounts alone with the bracket, I paid $287.23. That was from a gentleman on Facebook Marketplace, and he did warn me there is a sequence as far as tightening them because these are really stiff uh, motor mount bushings. So I went off that and then torqued everything according to Hotsport, what they say to do on their website and such, and based on the instructions they sent me as well too. So next one, Hush Performance pedal assembly brace. That was 3424. If you have an EF, you'll know that between their 88 to 91, 88 to 89, they have a tendency on the clutch pedal. It'll kind of like, there's a spot on the pedal itself. It'll snap and it'll cause the pedal to like kind of be separated. Unfortunately, that is the case for only 88 and 89s. 90 to 91 from the factory, they put an additional piece there and welded it, and then you can tell there's a difference there. But for peace of mind, I think this assembly brace from Hush, it's like a triangle piece. You have to kind of massage it in there, maybe tap it with a hammer here and there to get it to like fit nice and snug. But you will notice a difference in the pedal. Like the pedal feels, my clutch pedal, I really dig how it feels. I've had a few other people sit in the car too, and they're like, dude, this feels really great. And unfortunately for ES trying to find that really nice like feel of the clutch pedal, like there's only very few companies out there that offer such a solution. So the pedal brace from Hush, for peace of mind, you have to take pretty much your pedal assembly out, which in turn I had to drop my dash to do that. So while you're there, dude, just invest in this. You'll definitely enjoy it. It's like peace of mind. Then next on the list, Clutch Master Cylinder Reservoir. This one I have to give a shout out to Garage Built Hondas. I believe he's out in Cali. So this I bought based on his he did like a review as part of it when he was doing his he was turning his whole entire B series into hydro, and it was a factory cable. And this piece right here is just a motorcycle reservoir. It's a universal one from Amazon. So it does come with this metal bracket here. You could kind of tell where it's not fully straight here. It does come pre-bent, so I kind of just set it on the ground and hammered it to make it like a little bit straight. Then went to the hardware store, got the spacer and all that. So obviously that means the wiper cowl, all this stuff needs to come off to get all this done. So yeah, that was actually pretty nice like piece. Unless you really look, you can't really see it. It kind of just like blends in with everything. That was $12.75, so it was very cost effective. Alternator belt was $31.78. You know what? You might as well here. It's probably one of the easiest things you could change. And then being that it's EP3, RSX engine or whatever, you're not rocking AC, so you need a shorter belt. So this was actually the second belt I got that ended up working. If you have questions on what the belt was that I used, I'll go back later and I'll get the part number and show you. I went through two belts, so the first one was way too long, and the second one I was lucky enough that I found the right one. It has a right amount of tension. So yeah, definitely alternator belt you have to do. If you're gonna keep AC, that's something different, but obviously I'm not. So that belt was $31.78. The engine bracket and the hardware from Hotsport was $145.95. These engine mounts are the version 1, so these have the most ground clearance, but obviously in the future, if it doesn't kind of look obvious, if I want to do a hood, I might run into some issues here and there. So I'll figure that out in the future for that. But they sell this bracket still from Hotsport, so I was actually really happy about that. And they also gave me all the hardware and nuts and bolts and everything like that as well too. So all that, the bracket, the hardware with instructions from Hotsport was $145.95. Then we got the Acuity shifter adapter plate and shifter base bushings, $206.80 for that. I really like this. I like all the stuff that Acuity sells. Uh, I frequent the track a lot, and I see some Acuity like track cars, race cars there, and just all the products. I really, really dig how they look. The purple's actually really nice. Not that I kind of have a theme around that with my car. Mine, it's more like the color blue, but the purple actually is really, really nice. So definitely a nice piece from Acuity. Gives you all the instructions, online torque readings, pictures. So definitely one of my if I had to say favorite companies for aftermarket parts, in case it doesn't look obvious there, I have a Acuity fuel rail. So definitely a nice piece for them. So 206.80 for that. Now, my clutch pedal bracket, I did not. Hush sells one, but the one I ended up going with was from a company called Unreal Autosports. That was $140. So this was right there, roughly on the same price as Hush Performance's one. So this one, the pedal assembly comes with obviously the bracket itself. It came already with the hose for the slave or whatever. So it already came with the hose. Don't mind this hose clamp. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it over this. This was a tight fit with the hose they provided and this universal reservoir. So I just kind of left the hose chilling, this hose clamp chilling here. I tried to rip it off, but I was like, whatever, I'll leave it. So comes with that. Comes with actually a L bracket piece that it comes with also a bolt as well too. So on the bracket itself, on the back of the assembly brace, there's a welded nut, and then they supply this L bracket and a bolt. And actually, it's the L bracket. The top of it has a stud, and it also has a washer and a nut. So when you have this whole entire wiper cowl tray removed, I'm definitely not going to be able to get a picture of it here. There's also this like piece right here from factory underneath this. I don't know, it's something to do with like the HVAC, like allowing like fresh duct air to go in, something like that. I definitely don't know. But I had to drill a hole because what that L bracket does, it uses it to help like support the whole entire pedal. So the stud goes towards the top with the L bracket, and then the bottom of the L bracket, it bolts onto the actual pedal brace. So it adds a bit of rigidity. Hushes, I believe you have to do drill two holes, but the Unreal Autosports is just one. The Hush Performance is height adjustable. This one, it kind of just had 1 second. I'll be honest, when I put it on, it was absolutely perfect. I drilled the hole somehow in the absolute right spot. So pedal is really, really nice and firm. So if you guys are looking for like a really nice pedal assembly brace, I would go with Unreal Autosports. Came with instructions as well too. When you have the whole entire pedal assembly off, you do have to drill a hole for the actual the clutch master for the rod for it when you actuate it forward and back, as you do with like the Hush kit or any other kit out there. So definitely nice piece there. Next, the K-Tune throttle cable was 5607. My car is a factory 91 EF standard, meaning it was dual point, so it had that really long throttle cable that started from there, looped like all the way around here. There was a tiny little like bracket here that it looped around, and it came and it like stopped right about here. So throttle cable, if you have that, you can actually just get away with that. You don't have to do it. I had it, and like a dummy, I threw mine away. So K-Tune sells these ones. You can adjust them a little bit too, for like lengthwise and all that. So that was 5607 for the throttle cable, and we are now done with one page. So we are moving right along. Let's see. Now, being as this, like I said, is a EF standard, for some reason with Honda's EFs, EGs, EKs, the EF standards, all of them from 88 to 91, they were 23 spline for like axles, whereas DXs, SIs, and then EGs and EKs, all of them were 26 spline axles. So the unfortunate thing is, if you have a EF standard like me, you do have to press your put in a different set of hubs like I did, and I was actually nice and fortunate enough to find out that uh, the actual part numbers between EF standards and DXs, they were the same. So all you technically are just changing is the hub. The hub on the DX is 26. The hub on the EF standard is 23. And then since you're going to be doing that too, do wheel bearings and all that too. So hubs, bearings, and DJ from Rudd's Racing for them installing it for me. That was $216.78. That was me buying the parts and bringing it to him with the knuckles to do all that. And then later on I'll tell you I just use base model RSX axles. They just bolt right in. So that was the beauty of going this route. Next, Acuity fuel rail, 196.83 for that. Comes with this block off Allen screw if you want to put your fuel pressure regulator gauge there. I blocked mine off, so I left mine on my actual fuel pressure regulator, so it comes with that. And then I can't remember if it came with fittings or I actually had to purchase them, but this one for the fuel rail, I have the block off, and then this one, it's a fitting that goes to a dash 6. So this fuel rail, definitely, like I said, I definitely like Acuity, the quality of the products and all that. So that was $196.83 for that. Clutch line, stainless steel, run-of-the-mill basic, nothing crazy. That was $45.76 for that. And I didn't realize when I first routed it, there was a factory clip here that I guess on mine I never had or broke off or something. It clips here, and then the factory actually has a hard line that's sat here for the clutch line. So if I ever decide to, or if I ever need to take the engine out for anything, like fully take it out, or maybe even just disconnect the stainless steel line, I could route it back around, go to Honda, buy this actual this clip that was here, and then I could actually put this line back in there so it'll look more like factory. But for the time being, I did it just like this, so just kind of keep it away from like everything. I not really that's gonna obstruct or make contact with anything. But yeah, stainless steel clutch line one more time, $45.76 for that. Hose clamps for the coolant, brake booster, and brake booster hose. So the factory brake booster hose does not work anymore with K-Series since the intake manifold's all the way in the front. So the factory, just kind of as an example, factory brake booster hose goes and kind of stops right about here. There's a fitting on the back of the intake manifolds for like D series, B series, H series, F series, all that. So it would stop right about here. So you have to go and get a much longer hose to run. And then it was just hose clamps. I'm still rocking my idle air control valve. Even the coolant fittings that's on the front coolant flash. So hose clamps for that. Hose clamps for this one here. I got these ones here. They don't know the specific name for them, but they're not like one of those like that kind of say tear into the material, kind of like these hose clamps. I forgot the name. I think these are along the lines of what they call like maybe Swedish clamps or something. Just like real nice smooth edges, smooth ridges. It won't like tear or anything like that. So yeah, just those clamps. For that, the brake booster and brake booster hose, that was $19.73 from like auto parts store. AM fuel pressure regulator, $138.56. This one I went because it was the one I actually saw on VTech Academy on YouTube. Brian from Hospital and them. I looked to their videos quite a bit, and they kind of helped me when I was first doing this swap. They also was kind of the big start was when I did this. The whole entire brake proportioning valve, it goes here from the factory. So they said for budgetary reasons, you don't have to do those like stainless steel like flexible lines where you could like route this for there. They said all you technically have to do is just take this whole assembly and kind of bend it. Theirs is mounted actually up against the firewall and screwed in place. I didn't do that with mine, but it does take a bit of force to actually kind of move this, so I've just left it here. Hasn't been any issue, but yeah, shout out to them for that, because this technically was kind of one of the first things I modified when I was doing this K swap, was moving the brake proportioning valve. So yeah, AM fuel pressure regulator, 138.56 for that. And then the fuel pressure regulator, if I remember, it didn't come with really any fittings, so I had to get a Vibrant. It was a -6 to a -6 fitting, and a fuel filter O-ring. So this is a Russell inline fuel filter. I had one already on my car from my previous Turbo D16 setup. So I just replaced. There's like an O-ring on the inside. I just replaced that, and then that fitting was for this side over here. Then the 3656 is the AM fuel pressure regulator banjo bolt. I have mine returning just using the stock hose. I'll try and angle my phone here. Hopefully you could see the hose right there at the bottom. So underneath here, there is a banjo fitting, and you could just barely see it right there. That is a actual AM piece. So when you buy the fuel pressure regulator, it doesn't come with it. You have to buy it separate if you want to do it. So it just uses then a